Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I am about to call the calendar. And as I was going through the files, there are some questions I have on some cases. But when I call the calendar, please make the appropriate announcement. And it looks like there's some cases that have been placed back on the calendar that possibly just need a judgment. And if that's the case, please let me know, and so we can route you in the correct position. Okay, we're live now on YouTube. Today is September 6th, 2022. It's 8:30 in the morning. My name is Gardner. I'm going to be the magistrate judge presiding over the calendar here today. Position number 1 is Alexia Lowe versus King's Automotive. Do we have the litigants here on that case?
Yes, I'm here. Alexia Lowe's here.
Okay.
Your Honor, but I see King's Automotive, but look like they're on mute.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's Holmes.
Holmes?
Yes.
Okay. And I thought I heard someone else make an announcement. Was it you, Attorney Amin?
I did not make an announcement, but I'm here for John Washington.
Okay.
Your Honor, it was me, just to let you know, good morning, just to let you know, King's Automotive is present on the Zoom. They're on mute.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Position 2, I put two things together. To finish my sentence, thank you, Mr. Hutchinson.
You're welcome, Judge. Good morning.
Position number 2, Calvary Spivey LLC versus, Citibank NA versus Montoya Smith.
James Whidden for the plaintiff.
Okay. And is that a case, Mr. Whidden, where you just need a judgment?
It's a case, Your Honor, it looks like that we vacated our judgment, because I think that's what it was originally, and we've already vacated the FIFA.
Okay.
So we've done that already.
Okay.
Am I able to speak or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, I'm here because last year during our case, basically I was supposed to get an order from you in order to stop the garnishment. And I haven't been able to get that order. Been trying to track it down for over a year now.
And we have filed a dismissal as to the garnishment, Your Honor. They may have, I think that they were still paying into our office. So any funds that we have, we'll be returning to the defendant.
Okay. Right. That was supposed to happen last year. So once I get this order, I still got to go to my old job to have them start the process. I was under understanding that, if I can say this, Mr. Whitten, I was under the understanding because of what happened that it would just be held. It would the money would just be held.
Well, I think it was paid out, to be honest with you. I think it was paid out. So we'll return them any money we received. And your employer just didn't stop.
But they couldn't stop because I never got the order.
Okay.
So, Mr. Smith, the thing that you need to understand is that you are a litigant, meaning you can present a proposed order for my signature. It doesn't have to, the lawyers who are here, who are representing their clients, they will present what are called proposed orders. So, sir, the ball keeps rolling. So when I'm done here today, this morning, I'm going to be doing something this afternoon. I'm going to be doing something tomorrow. I'm going to be doing something the day after that. All you need to do is present an order and I'll sign it.
Mr. Gardner, that was not the instructions I was given. So
I understand. I understand.
So I don't even know what presenting an order means.
Okay, sir.
Sir.
I understand. I do understand. So don't treat this as I'm saying this is your fault. What I'm doing is trying to let you understand that really because of the pandemic, we have tons and tons and tons and tons of files. By the time I'm done with this calendar this morning, I'm probably going to have 30 emails of people asking for stuff and needing stuff. They didn't give us more lawyers, more judges, more staff. So you have that ability to do that. And so I'm not blaming you, sir. I'm just saying, if it didn't get done, it didn't get done. And ultimately, I take responsibility for that. I take full responsibility for it. But there are things that could have been done to help move the issue around. So, I mean, move the matter forward. So I understand.
And sir, I'm just saying, if I'm just now hearing this today, it couldn't have been done because I didn't know that it could have been done. And so, and then even in doing it, how do I write an order? How do I find out how to do what you're asking? Because this is the first time I've heard this, sir. That's all I'm saying.
There are form files or judgments and orders that are on the website for the county. And they do that, especially magistrate court, because they're pro se litigants all the time. People who are not lawyers, people who are deciding to either take the case on themselves or not. So again, I take responsibility for it, but the volume is just too big right now.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it. I just need to know, the instructions. So go online and I can follow some instructions online to be able to provide an order. And I guess, should I just say, what does it tell me what to say does it tell me what to say? Because in this situation.
Let me ask Mr. Whitten,
Yeah.
have you submitted anything, which I don't believe I saw in the file, that you are closing the case and you're requesting release of any garnished funds?
Well, what we've done is the garnishment is in the state court, and we have filed a dismissal as to the garnishment in the state court. We did file that back in August of last year, I think. And then we just vacated the actual fight phase. We haven't filed anything with the court. But I can look into seeing if we're dismissing the case without prejudice. If that would help, I can see if that's the case, and we can do that.
It would. So based upon what Mr. Whitten just said, Mr. Smith, I would not even get the pleading that he said was filed in state court, because
Although, there is a default judgment in the case. So I guess that has to be set aside.
Okay, do you think you can file something to set aside the default judgment?
Yeah, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I'll look into doing that.
Okay, so Mr. Smith, the best way I can explain it is that if you have ever been to a baseball game, the umpire doesn't call the pitches. Umpire doesn't tell a pitch what fastball, curveball. Umpire sits there and they're waiting for the pitch to say strike a ball. A judge is in a similar manner. So the judge is waiting for something to come across the judge's desk so that the judge says strike or ball. The judge doesn't get on the phone and start calling the litigants and saying, I want you to, well, it would be improper for the judge to do that. I want you to file this motion. I want you to file that motion. I think you win your case by doing this. I think you lose your case by doing that. Judge doesn't do that. And to the extent that was not explained correctly, again, I take full fault for that.
So do you want us to email that to you, Your Honor?
Email it to mary.moultrie@claytoncountyga.gov, and it'll fall into my hands.
I'll put it on the chat for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. We'll do that.
Oh, and so, Ms. Smith, just again, the reason I said to send it to that person, because that person is my judicial assistant, and I work with her on a daily basis. I speak to her almost every day, even on the weekends. If you were to send something to the clerk's office, it's not a guarantee that it'll get to me.
So I'm still, what do I want to just, okay, he's going to do that part. It would then let me, what do I need to do so I can do my part?
So it appears as though I do have a form order that I can sign releasing the funds back to the garnishee, which would or the defendant, which would be you. So once I get the proper documentation, it's just a stroke of my pen in the clerk's office, then whatever monies they have that they've collected from your employer, they will disperse those funds back to you.
Right, and so what happens, for at least just because this is what we talked about last year, so I just want to make sure I don't miss anything, because and so
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So okay, so when that part happens for my employers, they're saying that's something I need to bring them. So how do I get this get whatever this? They said I need to bring them. I think the order. I may be saying the wrong word, but how do I bring them what they need? Because they said they have to send it to who they sent the money to in order for me to actually get the check. Because they would write the check, will cut the check once they get it back from whoever garnished it out of my payroll, if I'm saying this correct.
Yes, what I understand from Mr. Wooden is that he believes that there are monies that were paid that may not have been paid properly. And so as a member of the bar and a distinguished lawyer, he's not out here with the intent to rob somebody. So it appears from what I've heard today, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Wooden,
Yes.
there may have been monies paid out that your client was not entitled to.
Yes.
And so he has said that he's going to have that money, those monies returned to you. So that's a one-to-one interaction between you and Mr. Wooden.
Also, I would need to start talking to you, Mr. Wooden. Would I need to speak with you after you've done the part to the judge? Am I following it now?
Yeah, yes, because what
I'm not arguing. I'm trying to understand. I'm just understanding.
No, I do.
Okay.
And we're trying to figure it out. And so, and the reason I'm just going to say it this way. It is my intent, based upon Mr. Wooden's representation here today, to do an order for the clerk's office to return any monies that they have within the registry of the court to you. But it appears from what Mr. Wooden is saying is that whatever monies they have may have been dispersed to his client. So there may not be any funds. The reason I asked for this to happen is so that when I file something, I don't want them calling me, the clerk's office, calling me saying, well, Judge, I don't see why this money should go back. And so you get into the whole circular thing. So we're going to come back to you, Mr. Smith, but I just wanted to make sure we get this done. Position 3, Jefferson Capital versus Shakina Merritt.
Daniel Green for plaintiff, Judge. If the defendant's not here, I would just move to, maybe someone is here, I'm not sure.
Is Shakina Merritt here? Okay. I'll come back to you, Mr. Green.
Is that her in the court? I'm not sure.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
No, sir.
Position 4, Jefferson Capital System versus Jacqueline Moore.
Your Honor, the defendant is present, Ms. Moore.
Daniel Green for plaintiff.
Okay. Mr. Green, do you think you need to speak to Ms. Moore?
Sure, I can, Judge. How do we do that? Is there a court breakout room?
Well, I can put that into a breakout room, but we're going to see who's the other litigant there first. Position 5, Candace.
Well, I'm sorry, she is there, Judge. She's in the courtroom, is what I'm
My
saying.
understanding is that there are 2 people in the courtroom.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
so I need to figure out who the other person is. Position 5, Candace Austin versus Cars.
I'm here.
And Your Honor, I'm here for Pars Cars and my client is also here.
And that's Mr. Gregory.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I believe I saw it said Patricia's iPhone.
That's
Yes, it's Patricia.
daughter's.
Okay. I thought I heard 2 people speaking.
Patricia Dent is here.
And you're here on behalf of Candace Austin?
No,
You're here on behalf of Pars Cars.
no, I'm Patricia Dent. I'm here with a different case for Overlook Southwood.
So why did you,
I have 3 witnesses, but I didn't know if it was okay to give them the link to this court.
so when I see Candace Lewis, are you Candace Austin?
Yes.
And you said you have 3 witnesses.
Yes, sir.
Can you identify your witnesses?
Sure. I have Tierra Morris, Robin Austin, and Amaria Harris.
Can you identify them on this call?
No, I have not gave them the login. I wasn't sure if this was how we were going to do it, but I don't have a problem getting them here, getting them online.
The person Patrice's iPhone, she had announced, but you said you're here on a different case. Is that correct?
Correct.
Patricia's iPhone. Okay. Okay, Ms. Lowe, we're gonna come back to you. Mr. Gregory, do you think it would be beneficial to speak to Ms. Lowe before this case proceeds?
I think it's Miss Austin, Your Honor, but we tried last week with a mediator and didn't get anywhere.
Okay, and the reason I said Lowe is because Lewis, I'm sorry, ma'am. That's what it's saying on the screen.
Yes, I've gotten married since I originally set a Zoom account, so I have not changed the last name on it. I apologize.
So are you Miss Austin or you're Miss Lewis?
I'm Miss Austin. My maiden name is Lewis.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Position 6, Jefferson Capital versus Erickson Rock.
Daniel Green for plaintiff, Judge.
Is Erickson Rock present?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Mr. Green, do you think it'll be beneficial to speak to Mr.?
I do, Judge.
Okay. I'm going to place you all in a breakout room. That'll be the first group. Position 7, Navy Federal Credit Union versus Terriana Newell.
Daniel Green for plaintiff, Judge. This is in default. If we could just submit proposed order to Ms. Moultrie.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Position 8, overlook at Southwood versus Benjamin Dent, Patricia Dent.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Looper, attorney for Overlook at Southwood. I'm here today with Kelly Lyons, a witness for Century. If we go forward with this matter,
Patricia.
I believe Patricia and Benjamin are online.
Yes,
Is that
it's
correct?
Patricia Dent.
Ms. Dent, please, I can only hear one person at a time. Let him
Thank you.
finish speaking and then I'll listen to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, so I believe both defendants are online, but we're prepared to go forward with a hearing today. There's two different matters. One, as to Patricia Dent, no answer was filed and the default is proper. We're going to prove damages with the testimony of Kelly as well as myself. Benjamin Dent did file a pro se filing, and I would ask the court to determine if you considered it a pro se answer or not. If so, we would have to show liability. That'll take a little bit longer on our hearing, but if it's not considered an answer and that's also in default, then just proving damages would be quicker.
Okay. Mr. Looper, do you think it'd be beneficial to speak to Benjamin Dent and Patricia Dent before moving forward?
If they're interested in discussing payment and settlement, we're always open to conversation. If it's rehashing some of the legal disputes, then we would prefer just to move forward. We have not been in contact. We have not heard from them.
Yeah.
I'm going to begin with you, Ms. Dent. Do you believe it's beneficial to speak to Mr. Looper to possibly seek a negotiated agreement?
This is in reference to a home association.
Ma'am, that was not my question.
I know, I just wanted to verify what this was about, because from my understanding, it's about the home association, but he was talking about damages. I don't understand.
So,
Well,
ma'am,
that is correct. It is regarding Overlook
I
Homeowners
understand,
Association.
Mr. Looper. Ma'am,
Exactly.
you have
Yes.
the choice to speak to the other side to understand what they are alleging and deciding whether you agree or disagree with it. If you don't want to speak to the other side, that's fine. Do you understand my question?
Yes, I do.
Do you think it would be beneficial to speak to Mr. Looper?
I can speak with them, but I would like to say,
Ma'am,
that-
we're not about to have the trial.
okay,
So when we have the trial, we have the trial. And the end result of the trial is one person walks away mad, another person walks away happy. Miss Dent, could you, and Mr. Dent, could you please both turn your cameras on?
let's see.
Okay, Mr. Dent, while Miss Dent is trying to turn her camera on, do you believe it will be beneficial to speak to Mr. Looper before this case goes to trial?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to require anyone to meet, but you understand the answer is going to be yes or no. So if you don't have a defense, you may need to speak to the other side rather than attempting to speak to emotion or speak to, anything else, sir. You understand that?
Yes.
Thank you. Position number 9, Homes, Customs, and Collision versus Toyota Corolla and Vivian Winningham.
Yes, Holmes is it.
Okay. Is Vivian Winningham present? And Mr. Holmes, you're seeking to foreclose on this vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Position number 10, Marilyn Thompson versus Southern Auto Salvage.
Your Honor, the plaintiff, Ms. Thompson, is in the courtroom. Her witness is outside, Mr. Rashad Thompson. I mean, Thomas.
Thompson.
Thompson, excuse me.
Thompson, thank you, Mr. Hutchinson.
Yes, sir.
Anyone here on behalf of Southern Auto Salvage?
This is Southern Auto Salvage, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you believe it'll be beneficial to speak to Ms. Thompson before this case goes to trial?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm going to rename you as Southern Auto Salvage.
Yes, sir.
Position number 11, AutoVest LLC versus Tunette Sherman.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sharice Taddy for plaintiff.
I'm sorry, ma'am,
Good morning,
Sharice Taddy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And good morning, Your Honor. I'm Tatanette Sherman.
Tatanette Sherman. Do either one of you believe it'll be beneficial to speak to each other before the trial of this case?
Plaintiff would be happy to speak to the defendant.
Was that a yes on both sides?
Yes,
It's
sir.
a yes for plaintiff.
Okay, so at the end of the call of calendar, I'm going to start placing people in breakout rooms who want to try to negotiate their matters. So just stand by. Position 12, Midland Credit versus Latrika Martin.
James Wooden for the plaintiff.
Okay.
She's not.
Is Latrika Martin present?
Move strike the answer and enter default at the appropriate time.
Yes, sir. Position 13, Midland Credit versus Donatello Green.
James Wooden for the plaintiff.
Okay.
I think I saw Mr. Green. Yeah.
Mr. Green, do you believe it'll be beneficial to speak to Mr. Wooden before this case goes to trial?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
all right. Position 14, Capital One Bank versus John Buckner.
Your Honor, the defendant is present, Mr. John Buckner.
Buckner, thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Louis Feingold for plaintiff.
Good morning, Mr. Feingold. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Buckner, do you believe it'll be beneficial to speak to Mr. Feingold
Yes,
before
Your
this
Honor.
case goes to trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Your Honor, if I can make an announcement, I have 3 people present in the courtroom.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is that 3 new or 3 total?
3 total.
Thank you. Position 15, New Image Towing versus GMC Yukon versus Donna Gray.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Donna Gray.
Good morning, Ms. Gray. Is anyone present from New Image Towing? Okay. All right, I'm gonna come back to you, Ms. Gray, in a second. That completes the call of my calendar. Does anyone is anyone present who expected to hear their name called or a case call?
Yes, Your Honor. Matthew Stone. I represent Landmark Dodge in the case that was continued over from, I believe it was July. It's Washington versus Landmark Dodge.
That was the individual where Mr. Erickson, I need you to mute yourself.
And I'm present also, Washington.
And this is Miss Amin for Mr. Washington.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Stone,
Yes,
Ms. Amin, do you believe it would be beneficial to have a discussion before this matter goes to trial?
Your Honor, on behalf of Landmark, I do not. We talked with Mr. Washington's previous attorney, and I think we just need to try the case. This will be the third time it's on Your Honor's calendar.
Okay. Okay. All right, we have a big calendar today, so just stand by. I'm gonna try to get all of this stuff in order. Mr. J. Valdez.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
What case are you here on?
Landmark.
Thank you. Mr. John Ash, what case are you here on?
Candace Austin, Your Honor.
Okay, you're one of the witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, he's not. Your Honor, John Ash is he's the defendant car dealer, Pars Cars, and I'm counsel representing Pars Cars.
Okay.
John, can you confirm that?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Ash, I am going to place you in a waiting room, and I'm going to pull you out of the waiting room when we're ready for you. Let's see. I have someone is showing as the Real Princess, D-A, second word R-E-A-L, third word Princess. Can you please turn your camera on and identify yourself?
Hi, I'm Kendrick's Austin witness. I'm one of her witnesses.
Okay. I'm going to place you in a waiting room.
Okay.
We'll come back when we need you. Let's see. All right. Let me start trying to herd these cats. Mr. Green, I believe your witness that's in Magistrate Court, that's in the courthouse. I am going to try to make that witness available first. And is that Miss Moore? Mr.